The name of that song was Little Black Flies, and it was written and performed by my special guest today, Atlanta blues soul artist Eddie Nine Volt. Eddie, thank you so much for joining me here on the show today.
Hey, Gregory, thanks for having me, man. I'm glad we could work this out, and I'm just honored to be here.
Oh, I'm honored to have you. I've got to tell you that over the last year, I haven't had more wonderful feedback on your music, more so than any artist I have featured in the last 12 months. You're a hit up here.
Man, I love that, man, and thanks for spinning the records, man. Like I said, it was just a long time coming, man. And I got with the right team, got with the right musicians, and it's been a blessing, man. I'm thanks for playing me, and to all your followers and listeners, man, thanks for spinning it. Keep playing it and sharing it, man.
You know, it appears to me from everything that I've seen in your career, and you've got some wonderful recordings, Eddie, that in a sort of a funny way, the pandemic was a blessing to you, wasn't it? Because it allowed you to put together some incredibly talented musicians. And I don't want to leave out the fact here that you're a co-writer and also who plays bass in your band often. And your producer is your brother, Lane. And
Oh yeah.
the two of you are joined at the hip and have put together some incredible music with this latest release titled Little Black Flies. Um, it just seems to me like this allowed you to gather the strength that you needed to jump into that next phase of your career.
Yeah, man. Honestly, the pandemic was great because, well, it's great. Let's shouldn't say that, but
Yeah.
great in the sense of musicians. You know, everybody was on the road. It was a time I had everybody at the click of my iPhone, and I hit everybody up, and I told them, I said, hey, it's just gonna be a party, and we'd have parties all the time. Listening parties, just bring over the record player, and everybody would just listen. I said, hey, bring your guitars and your basses over. I said, we're just gonna jam, and they had no idea. And I called the. It was just an experiment, really. And and they came over, and I wanted them to get loose a little bit, so we had drinks. We ordered a Little Caesars pizza,
Yeah.
and so they came on in, and it was funny because they saw me setting up microphones, and they're like, whoa, whoa, what are you doing? And I was just like, hey, I just want to record it and see if maybe we can listen to it when we're all old and just laugh at it. But it was funny because as soon as we hit record, and we were all, it's just, that was the first time we'd played in probably 6 months to a year. And it was just, oh, it was an amazing feeling, man. It was immediately, we knew, even after, even the other musicians, we knew, like, we had something going, and it was just an amazing process. And it's definitely the most fun record I've ever made.
It's terrific, but I want to mention too that what brought me to your attention, um, or vice versa, I guess I'd say, you brought you to my attention, was "Left My Soul in Memphis," which I was just shocked, and then I didn't find out until I had listened to all. Well, there's three albums that you have, which is Live at Blind Willie's. Left My Soul in Memphis, and of course the new release, Little Black Flies. I didn't realize that, of your age. I mean, this is amazing to be at
Thanks, man.
25 years old, to be at this stage in your career. I mean, you're one of the best blues soul artists I've ever heard. It's
Well,
fantastic. Yeah,
that
and
that makes my heart warm, man. Like I said, it's been a long time coming. I've been a musician. I've been touring and touring the country and hopping in minivans and everything since I was 13 years old. And it's been a long time coming. And I tried out some different types of bands, different types of music and everything. And this was the first one. I've always told myself, I'm always going to go back to the blues because that's the way I started. When I was like 15 and playing in the blues open mic jams and everything. But yeah, it's Left My Soul in Memphis was a total record of just coming off the road and having some time on my hands. And this is when we were living out in a double wide trailer in Monticello, Georgia, which is
right.
way out in the boonies, as they say. And yeah, so we had a double wide trailer, and we would just turn all our amps up, and I recorded a track. It was just kind of like it was Yonder's Wall is what I recorded, and I had this one little preamp and a microphone, a drum set, and amps and all that stuff. And as soon as I heard what came out of the speakers, I was like, "This is amazing!" Like I always tell everybody, we can make stuff sound old, but we can't make it sound new.
Right.
and but it just sounded so amazing. And Left My Soul was all me in a trailer. My brother Lane, who I wouldn't be anywhere without him. He made it sound even more cool and more saturated, more transparent. And that was just all me on Left My Soul, except for a few keyboards. It's funny because the horns I did on it are from a slide guitar, harmonized slide. And
Really?
even horn players in Chicago, they always hit me like, "Who are your horn players?" Like, man, that's a slide guitar.
I
And
can't believe that. That is just
yeah,
amazing.
yeah. Listen to geez, it's been a minute. I think it's 36 in Maine. That's
Yes.
those are all fake horns. That's a slide guitar. A lot of people think it's synthesized like on the keyboard, but no, it's not. And but that was the whole. I love that sound. I was going for a Staxy kind of sound,
You
but
got
man,
it.
yeah, thank you, man. And but with this new thing, I just wanted to get everybody together because everybody was so down and out with the pandemic. And I don't want to look back and say this was the pandemic record, but it's it might. But I just wanted to get everybody get together, forget about everything, and just jam and have fun. And as soon as we did that first session, we did about 12 songs. And it's funny because a lot of people they like to they see the little comparisons to like Fleetwood Mac live in Chicago or Blues Jam, sorry,
Right.
and which is all time one of my favorite records. But you know, it was really just a lot of times with bands and everybody they record the song, stop, hit stop, hit the space bar. But with us, I was just like, from as soon as we were ready to go, hit record, and when we're done, when we're ready to be done, that's when we stop. And so that's when I saved all those great moments of just us bantering and talking around, and because it was a session, it was we were all just hanging out, and it's funny because drinks were flowing. I had a bottle of gin we were just passing around. It was just fun, man. It was just a fun record, and everybody was loving it, and that's the greatest feedback I've been getting. It's just how it feels like you're in the studio with us, which is amazing.
Let's do another song from Little Black Flies. This is one you chose, which is one of my favorites on the album. It's one I can't even hardly get out of my head. But let's do 3 a.m. in Chicago.
The ground it shakes, the hills they breathe, the sun it burns, both of my knees, bound and determined to find a meaning within, while the earth keeps on turning all around again. No lights on inside. A house in the suburbs. You will hear no children cry. But who built the statues that look down upon us? And who prints the money? Who gets to control us?
That is just such a terrific song, Eddie, that you and Lane have put together. I love your humility in crediting your brother for helping with this. He's not only a wonderful singer songwriter, he plays bass in your band when you're traveling, and he's also your producer and engineer. And he's done a masterful job on Little Black Flies. And I want to. There's 3 songs on here, and I printed out the lyrics, and I wanted to ask you about your songwriting process that you have. And Little Black Flies, I put a big note at the top of it uh, with one word called abuse. And it's obvious to me that what this was a situation where someone's in an apartment and here's an abusive situation going on next door, and tries to figure out what, if anything, they should do to jump in and help.
Yeah, that's a very good point. It's funny because you write music and stuff, and you might be in a headset or mindset when you're writing it, and then you look back at it, 2 years later or a year later, and you will realize it's for something completely different. And I feel like the more and more as each day goes by, I kind of feel like with Little Black Flies, with past relationships and everything. Maybe I'm thinking about myself. I've never been in a situation, thankfully, where I've been hurt or anything. But it really goes out to like the even just verbal abuse, all that kind of stuff, man. And it is a song, about wanting to do something and just want to make it for the better. But it's such a crazy song, man, because when I was writing it, I had no idea. I was just like Little Black Flies, and it was one of those things. It's like I was, they teach you how to do like diagrams and when you're writing books and stuff as a kid. But then I pictured it as when I got done with it, I was like, oh my gosh, it makes really perfect sense with little black flies flying around and a murder and all that. So it's such a fun, loving song, but the lyrics are so deep and dark.
They are.
You
They
kind of
are
have to
indeed.
re-listen to it to even get the lyrics.
And they are also in the song we just played, 3 a.m. in Chicago, which has that 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 music that just stays in your head. You can't get it out. It's just wonderful. But when you listen to the words of the song, a house in the ghetto, no lights on inside, a house in the suburbs, you will hear no children cry. I wrote at the top of this one word, disparity.
Hmm. That's true, man. I've never been rich in my life. I've never, I came from a very, I would say, lower middle class family, but I've been around the country and everything and seen just, the way that some people live and stuff. And just, that was a song just showing you, just to say how grateful you should be. And, how grateful, how, even though you think your life is, not as where you want it to be, there's always could be worse, man. That's why I've always been grateful for everybody that helps me around me and my team and everything. It always could be worse, and that's kind of like looking on the bright side of it's 3 a.m. in Chicago, reflecting of how worse it could be if you think about it.
The song on this album, that all the music is fantastic, and I think that um, when it comes to blues and souls artists, a lot of times we get so caught up in this wonderful music that we fail to hear those lyrics that are out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I admit that I did that the first time when I was listening to it, and then the more I listened to it, I went, "Oh my God, this is incredible!" And the one that just hit me in the face like a board was the Columbus Zoo Blues.
Yeah,
I've never heard anything like this, Eddie. I mean,
yeah,
this
it's
is
a song that
amazing.
people overlook at it, and it's kind of comic, has a little bit of comic relief or something, and but it's a 100% true story, man, and yeah, it was very, I don't know, it was one of the most sad things I've ever done in my life. I like animals and everything. I wouldn't say I'm an animal acts right or whatever. I don't want to say anything like that. But let's just say I like my steak.
Yeah.
but no, but I went to this zoo, man. I went to this zoo and I didn't know. I thought it was one of them electronic cigarettes. And my girlfriend's brother handed it to me because we were up in Ohio. This is my girlfriend lives in Ohio, and I was up there and we needed something to do. So I hit this electronic cigarette, which I thought it was, and it wasn't. But we just went in. I thought we were gonna have fun, just go look around, look at the animals, pass some time. But it was literally, being, and maybe it was the effect of the cigarette that I was enduring. Maybe it was just made me see through these animals, and it was one of the most heartbreaking thing, man. And it was just like seeing them, and there was a cheetah I'll never forget. it was in a room not much bigger than this, and there was a rut around the fence where he just keeps walking around, and that made me. It was just it almost. I looked at my girlfriend's brother, and we were almost just in tears, man. So I came home and wrote that song, and it was just, it's a good song. I mean, the lyrics, they sound funny, and it sounds like, hey, I'm being funny trying to be an animal, but it's really like put yourself in the shoes,
Oh,
and
no.
people think that well, animals don't have feelings and stuff, but man, they do at the Columbus Zoo, man.
I, I,
They do.
I I commend you for this, Eddie. I mean, I can't go no further than this fence, Lord. I tell you, I can't go further. I just got to watch these people looking at me. I'm going to one day bust out of this zoo, Lord, and tell you I'm going to be back to where I'm from. Whoa, this is heavy.
Yeah.
But to see this and write about this, I commend you for this. This is just amazing. I mean,
Well, thanks, man.
yeah, you and your brother both have such humility. I really
Yeah.
appreciate that. I mean, especially at a young age. This is the future. It really is the future of our country. I think so. Let me point out too that you have some albums out here. Have you started back? I just saw a music video that you did of a show you did, I think, with 4 songs in Atlanta. Are you back booking to get out on the road again?
Oh man, yeah. So we just we're working with a great booking agent. Tinsley Ellis put me on him. His name's
Oh,
Barron.
wow.
Yeah, Tinsley. Me and Tinsley, we're good friends. I love
Oh,
Tinsley.
wow. Ice
He
cream man, in hell.
Yeah, exactly. He's helped me out a lot with getting contacts and stuff. He's been a great mentor, man. He got me hooked up with Barron. He's a great booking agent with Crossover Touring. And all I'll say is Barron told me, told me 2 words. He said, "Buckle up." So we're planning a lot of things. We're going to be. I guess we can probably announce the Denver show, right? Con Steamboat Strings. Yeah, we're gonna be going to Steamboat Springs, open up for Samantha Fish.
Oh,
It's gonna be
great.
some big shows coming up, man. And I'm like I said, man, I've put in the work and I've done it, this whole life, but my whole life. But I'm just super grateful for everything, man. I'm ready to just give back and just play for as many people as I can, man. So yeah,
Uh,
we'll be hitting the road very soon, man.
Good. Samantha Fish is a fantastic blues artist. I'm really glad to hear you're going to be doing a show
Yeah,
with
that's
her.
September 16th,
Got you. And
Steamboat Springs. September 5th. Sorry about that.
that's
September
great.
5th, man.
That you made a statement too in one of the readings that I came about was that you learned so much from failure, and that's a pretty profound statement to make. That's great.
Yeah,
And
it's. I'll elaborate a little bit to it, man. It's the thing about music industry, I got so much to learn. I'm still gonna learn. I'm gonna have a lot more failures in my life and everything, but it's all about learning, right? And
yes, it is.
and you know, I tell everybody one of the best advice I ever had is, there's one point I was with a band and we were doing amazing. And I felt like we were on the top, and I was like, it can't get any worse than this. It's gonna be amazing. And everything came crashing down, and not crashing down, but just it was just we thought we were going to continue to be, just on the up and up. And then we came back home and played the same bars that we were playing and all that. And it really was a humility check, man. It was just like, it would just put us back in, okay, we got to get back and we got to work. It's all about leapfrogging, man, to the next step. And that was what's so disappointing and sad about the pandemic. A lot of musicians gave up. A lot of musicians just figured it wasn't ever going to come back to normal. And there was no point. But that was my goal from the day one is, just keep pushing and keep getting as many songs you can get done. And that's my philosophy, man.
You've got a great philosophy, Eddie. And let's point out too that there's some great videos that are on your website, and I gotta pull that up here. It's eddie9volt.com. Is that it, Eddie?
Yeah, eddie9volt.com, man.
Right, and the V is the rather than volt, it's V on the website, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Eddie9v.com, and then you have some releases that are just there isn't a dog in this bunch. I'll tell you, it's
Thanks, man.
Left My Soul in Memphis, and then a great little live recording that's called Way Down the Alley Live at Blind Willie's, a 2-song digital 45 with The Come Up and Brighter Days on it. And of course, this fabulous new album called Little Black Flies. I congratulate you, Eddie. I mean, this is just wonderful music that you got available, I assume, at all. I know it's on Amazon and on um,
iTunes, it's
iTunes.
everywhere, man.
It's
Yeah, it's
everywhere.
everywhere.
Bandcamp, everywhere you want to
You
listen
can
to this.
even DM me. You can DM me on Facebook or Instagram, and I'll send you a copy, man.
Oh, that's great. That's fantastic. Eddie, thank you so, so much for joining us here today. I know that you are going to have a wonderful career, and I will look forward to when you get up into the Pacific Northwest, and please grab your guitar and come by the studio, and we'll put you live on the air then. That would be
Sounds
wonderful.
wonderful. I'll be up there. I want to say thank you, Gregory, for having me, man. I really do appreciate it. I want to come out there and have some good seafood and some beer, and we'll pick around on a guitar, man.
That sounds like fun. Well, let's go out the door with one more song from Little Black Flies. It's called "She Got Some Money."